this is the Provoked Prawn, and this is a video on my favourite gear. This is a video summarising my favourite mice, keyboards and headsets, and my recommendations on what the best are based on my experience. And I've seen a lot of different products over the last few years, so I want to be able to talk to you about what my favourite things are that I've seen, and discuss why the things that I think are the best might not necessarily be the best for you, but talk about the reasons why they're the best for me and why I've stuck with them. And you can see all the different things that I've reviewed and unboxed here, just a few clips of some of them from the last couple of months. Basically, this includes a number of different devices from Logitech, Corsair, Roccat, Glorious PC Gaming Race, HyperX, SteelSeries, and a lot more. And as you can see, I've seen a number of different devices over the last couple of years, and some of them have been absolutely magnificent, and actually some of them I found to be better than my favorites, and yet I end up going back to my favorites. And that's because some of the things that I've got a very special set of features or design aesthetics that make them more appealing to me. And that's the point of this video, is to talk about why some things you might not like but are actually the most appealing to me for specific reasons, and hopefully that will be interesting. Now, the first thing I want to talk to you about is the Astro A50 wireless. Now, I've done a video recently on what this headset's like after a year of use and why it remains my favorite headset despite not necessarily being the best that you can buy. The Astro A50 wireless is expensive and it is a premium headset. Well, for me, the reasons that I love it is a number of different features to it that make it really appealing. First of all, it's really comfortable. Secondly, it's really convenient thanks to this charging base station. You can drop the headset into the charging base station, dock it, and then it will charge, and then that means that you never have to plug it in. And that's one of the appeals of this wireless headset that make it really convenient. It also has great sound thanks to Dolby Audio and a number of equalizer settings that you can access with a simple press on the buttons on the headset and customize within the Astro command center. It is a really comfortable headset to wear that's lightweight and easy to use all day. Another thing that I really like though is the simple things like the base station. You can plug in a 3.5mm connection and put in another source into the headset. There aren't many headsets that do this, but essentially that means it allows me to mic monitor my external microphone with ease. So I can plug 3.5mm connection from my Go XLR into the base station on my Astro A50, and now I can monitor my microphone through that without plugging a wire into the headset, so it still remains wireless. A simple yet really convenient feature that's fantastic. The Astro A50 also has some of the most comfortable ear cups I've ever had the glorious joy to be able to test and to put on my ears. These are incredibly soft velour style ear cups that are just cushiony goodness. They're not as deep as I'd like, they don't block out as much external noise as I'd like, and they could be better in some ways, but they are still the most comfortable that I've tried. And I've tried a lot of different headsets, and yet I still love going back to these things. They're incredibly comfortable. Now, the Astro A50 isn't the best, as I said. What you want is high-res audio with bigger drivers and a really fantastic sound. You turn to something like the Audeze Mobius, which has a much better sound, but that's a wired headset, which means it's not as convenient for me. I don't like wired headsets. I like the freedom of wireless devices, so this is much easier to use. Also, something like the SteelSeries Arctis Pro wireless, which is an alternative to the Astro A50, is better in some ways. It has, for example, the ability to remove the outer ear cups and the headband and change the overall look and feel of it. It also has removable batteries, which the A50 doesn't, which means that you get two batteries, one that's included in the headset and one that's included in the base station. One is always on charge in the base station while the other is in use. So if you run low on battery, you can just take the battery out of the headset, pop it for the one that's on charge, and carry on going. That's really convenient and a fantastic design from SteelSeries that make it really appealing. And this is definitely my second favorite headset for that reason, and also for the reason that you can plug in to that base station another 3.5mm connection and get the same sort of logic with mic monitoring as you can with the A50. The The Arctis Pro Wireless also has a Bluetooth connection as well as wireless, and the ability to plug in a 3.5mm connection directly to the headset. So it has a multitude of connection options. And because of that Bluetooth, which the Astro 50 doesn't have, you can have dual connection, which means that you can connect to your phone and your PC, for example, at the same time, which means you can listen to music on your phone or watch YouTube videos on your phone while also gaming on your PC, which is nuts and not something that many other headsets offer. And that makes it really convenient, but it's not as comfortable for me, and I prefer the A50. Now, a more affordable recommendation for me is the Logitech G Pro X wireless, or the wired version. This is the wired version. The reason I'd recommend that is because it's more affordable, but still has a lot of great features that include a really good range of connection options. You can plug it in with USB connection and get great sound, but you can also use 3.5mm and a 3.5mm splitter cable, and it is incredibly comfortable. Like the Astro A50, it uses those velour style ear cups, but it also has a really solid build quality to it. You can see a really nice aesthetic to it. It has that G logo on the outside with this brushed aluminium plates on there. It has a really sort of solid look and feel. I feel like over time the G Pro X will stand up to abuse a bit more than the Astro A50 would, or other flimsy headsets that are out there. It's also a really nice looking headset with a fairly decent microphone. It's not the best microphone, but it's not the worst either. And the quality of this one's really nice. I really enjoyed the comfort of it. Now, I will say that I prefer the wireless version, but if you want a multitude of connection options, the comfort and the fantastic look and feel of this headset, but want to save some money, then the wired version is the one to go for. Now on to keyboards. Again, an expensive choice, but this is the Logitech G915 TKL. I was never a fan of TKL keyboards, but Logitech converted me with this one because it's a really nice keyboard. It's a low profile keyboard with a really nice look and feel to it. It's available in two colors, but this is the white one, and the white one is my preference. As you'll see, it has a really low profile aluminium design to it with a really nice look and feel. Those white keycaps still standing up to the test of time, and it has easy access media controls in the form of a very satisfying volume wheel and some really nice media playback buttons. This thing also, it still looks great a year later, and I'm going to do a video separately on that in the near future. Another thing that this is great for is it has Bluetooth connection and wireless connection and wired. It has an insane battery life on it, and it just keeps going and going. The reason that I really like this keyboard is because it's not only a mechanical keyboard that reacts really well when you're typing on, but it's also comfortable and quiet, and that is really important to me because although it's mechanical, it's not excessively loud, and I can use it while gaming and streaming and capturing footage for game clips, but not have that click-clack in the background of me mashing the keys while I'm trying to play. Also, because of the low-profile design, the keys actuate really quickly and in a really satisfying way. The white one is definitely preferable because it's quieter to use, but the black one isn't obnoxious. I've done videos on these separately and shown off the key sounds, as well as done unboxing videos and comparisons on both of them that I'll link to in the description. That's worth checking out. But for me, the white one is preferable for a couple of different reasons, one of which is the RGB lighting stands out a lot nicer on the white version than it does on the black one, and I think the overall aesthetic of it is superior. Now that's an expensive keyboard, but as an alternative, the HyperX Alloy Elite 2 is a fantastic device. This is a larger keyboard, it's a full-size one, but it comes with pudding keycaps, and the overall look and feel of it when you get it out of the box isn't as nice, I'll admit, but once you get used to the pudding keycap setup, you will soon find that this is really nice. And the pudding keycaps, if you don't know already, basically have a translucent shell around the bottom of the keycap which lets through a lot of RGB lighting. The result of this is a really fantastic overall vibe in terms of the RGB lighting, and this is one of the best looking keyboards that I've seen for RGB. There are some others that have a bit more in terms of customization, but the overall default setup of this is absolutely beautiful. It's also a really comfortable keyboard to use. It was really nice. I really enjoyed it. It's one of my favorites that I've seen in recent months. And you can see things like a dedicated volume control wheel and media playback buttons, simple effects like that, the ability to switch profiles on the fly and disable things like your Windows key with a button press on the left. Also make it really nice to use. It also has a very nice overall finish to it, and it isn't super duper expensive like the G915 TKL, so it's a bit more appealing if you haven't got quite as much money and you want something that's still good, and that is my recommendations for keyboards. Now I'm going to go into mice, which I honestly had difficulty with because there are so many different ones out there that I've really enjoyed recently. I think the number one recommendation is probably the Logitech Superlight. This is a very understated mouse, so it doesn't have loads of RGB lighting, and it isn't super cheap, but it is very lightweight and very capable. It's designed to be super fast on your desk. It has a really lightweight design to it, a very comfortable fit. You can use it in both wired and wireless mode, which means it's very swift, and it's also agile and easy, but it also has a decent battery life on it too. It has large PTFE feet underneath, which means that it glides around the desk really quickly. I'll go into a lot more depth on each of these products in the review, so be sure to check them out in the description links. But the Superlight was definitely one of my favorites in terms of that lightweight design. It doesn't have that honeycomb design that some people don't like, which means that it keeps clean and is easier to keep clean in that way, but it also has a number of nice features that include, for example, grip tape included in the box, so you can easily make it less slippy if you're worried about it slipping around on the desk. If you're a pro gamer, this is the one to get. Not cheap though, and neither is the Razer Basilisk Ultimate, and this is one of my other recommendations. I compared this with the Logitech G502 Lightspeed, two fantastic mice with very similar designs. A lot of people would say that the Basilisk Ultimate has basically stolen the G502 design, and it's easy to see why. It has that sort of angry ergonomic design to it. It has a multitude of buttons, and it has some other nice features as well. One of the things I like about it is the simple little thoughts that have gone into the setup of it. For example, you'll see not only do you have buttons on top that you can customize, but the mouse wheel also does left and right click, and you can customize the resistance of that mouse wheel. So there's a little wheel underneath that you can adjust. Basically, that tweaks there then makes the mouse wheel move either with more resistance or less, so you can really feel the difference there. You'll also notice a thumb rest, a little paddle on the front, as well as those side buttons, two buttons on top for switching various different DPI levels, and a very comfortable grip setup. It also has some really nice RGB lighting with a strip down the side that you can customize in zones, and a little dock that you can plop it on when you're not using it to let it charge. And so that's a really nice setup too. A really good mouse, but an expensive one. Now, as a much more affordable alternative, is one of my favorite super lightweight mice, the SteelSeries Aerox 3. This comes in actually wireless or wired versions, with the wired one being a lot more affordable naturally, and the wireless one is my preference, but the reasons for it are slightly different to the other mice that I've discussed already. Now, this is a lightweight mouse for sure, and it's probably not the lightest available, but it does tick a number of other boxes. It has a really nice design to it that includes some really nice RGB lighting that goes through and strikes through the underside as well, so it lights up a lot more. But as you'll see from this shot here, it also supports both Bluetooth and wireless mode, so you can plug it in with a wireless dongle, but you can also use it on Bluetooth devices, so you can connect it to other things. The overall vibe of the Aerox 3 is also really nice. It has this sort of rough textured finish to it, which sits nicely in the hand. It's really good to use. It's a satisfying mouse to play with, and it is an overall fantastic bit of kit. It also has some really intelligent battery savings features, which means it just goes and goes and goes. So there you have it, my summary of my favourite devices to use and some alternatives. Hope you found this video useful. Let me know in the comments if you've got any questions, and be sure to check out the links to the other videos in the description. Thanks for watching. This has been the Provoked Prawn. Hope you found this video useful, interesting, or hilarious. Be sure to check out the description for all the information you might need, as well as links to other videos and things of interest. Check out these other videos. Click that subscribe button if you're not subscribed already. And want to have a look at Twitch? You never know, you might enjoy watching me dressed as a prawn playing games. Have a great life.